Okay, for one, with a problem like number 5, so moreover on number 5, right? With this circumcenter, we're doing perpendicular bisectors. Perpendicular bisectors means when we cut things in half, which means when I have a segment, I'm going to cut that segment into 2 equal parts, right? But I'm going to do it perpendicularly, meaning with something that is creating a 90-degree angle. Does that make sense? Okay. And so when I cut them, right, that leaves this triangle, right? This other triangle, right? And that triangle is a right triangle. And that's what it's doing here. Perpendicular bisector, perpendicular, bisects, meaning leaves these two halves equal, leaves these two halves equal, leaves these two halves equal, and they meet at this point P. And that point P is the circumcenter of a circle. It's the center of the circle of that, the vertices of that triangle, whatever the triangle is, that triangle lies on, those vertices, T, R, and S, will always be on that circle. Now, that center sometimes will be inside.
Outside the triangle. Sometimes it will be outside.
Outside and on. Right? So, here's the things. If it is an acute triangle, the center will be inside.
If it's obtuse.
If it is obtuse,
Outside.
outside.
If it's a well-drawn right triangle, it will be on it.
It'll be right on it, and it will be right on its midpoint, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay? It will actually be on the midpoint. P will become
The midpoint.
the midpoint
Of the hypotenuse.
of the hypotenuse.
Like the other hypotenuse, yes.
Right?
Because there's the right.
Which means
That what? Which means they're both equal.
the radii, right, will be a perpendicular. No, straighter, better. Right? Now, when I come out perpendicular, right, that means these are all going to be the same.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because that's where the circle is. Okay? There's a circle, and it lies on this point, this point, this point. That means that this, and this, and this all have to be the same. Because they're all radii.
Yep.
Right? A circle has a center, and because a circle is a perfect circle, anything that goes out from that circle is the same. Right? Okay? And that's all we're doing with this. We're creating circles around triangles in order to figure out some patterns within them. Okay? And that lets us find these sides, these sides, these sides, and eventually, right? Also these sides, right? But we'll also eventually be able to find these hypotenuse, or the legs, right? The perpendicular bisecting legs.
Yep.
By using a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's next week.